Pink Floyd was formed in London, England in 1965 by main songwriter, bass guitarist, and lead vocalist Roger Waters, drummer and percussionist Nick Mason, vocalist and keyboardist Richard Wright, and lead vocalist, guitarist, and songwriter Syd Barrett. David Gilmour, lead vocalist and guitarist, joined 3 years after as a result of Syd Barrett's leave due to deteriorating health from drug abuse. Roger Waters met Nick Mason while they were both studying architecture at London Polytechnic. Richard Wright was also studying architecture at the time, and the trio joined a band of 6 called the T-Set. Syd Barrett was studying at the Camberwell College of Art. He knew Waters from childhood and also joined the band. By 1965, the other members had dropped out, which left the remaining 4. Barrett had to quickly think of a new band name when they had found out that another group performing at their gig was also called the T-Set. He came up with Pink Floyd when he saw 2 blues record artists named in his collection, Pink Anderson and Floyd Council. The band became popular in London's underground music scene and began expanding throughout the UK, eventually debuting in the US and other countries in the world. Pink Floyd's music can be considered psychedelic rock, progressive rock, art rock, or blues rock. Their sound consists of many swirling and echoing effects to create a psychedelic feeling. Psychedelic means soul manifesting, and the term was coined in 1957 to describe the feeling of being on LSD. Many artists in psychedelic rock would write their music while high on these psychedelic drugs.
Pink Floyd was very adventurous when it came to their sound and way of playing. They were the first band to implement sonic experimentation into their concerts. Sonic experimentation was the use of innovative sound effects and surround sound. Pink Floyd even attempted to create an album using only household items as instruments. They never finished it though. Their main instruments were the drums, guitar, keyboard, bass guitar, and percussions. Their way of creating albums changed how people actually listened to music. They created concept albums, which was a type of storyline. Instead of listening to songs separately, people had to listen to the whole album to actually understand and feel what the music was creating.
Pink Floyd changed the way concerts were held. They had very elaborate and costly shows. Pink Floyd was the first to incorporate laser light shows and photo effects into their concerts, making the performance very engaging. They were also the first to experiment with surround sound in venues, allowing the sound to be better amplified. Pink Floyd incorporated massive props into their shows as well, using flying pigs, brick walls, fireworks, dry ice, and more. Pink Floyd was influenced by a number of artists, ones that included Bo Diddley and the Beatles. Pink Floyd also inspired a large number of groups and artists. Some well-known groups, such as David Bowie, Queen, Tool, Radiohead, and 9 Inch Nails, all cite Pink Floyd as a major influence. Pink Floyd's style was not at all the mainstream suit and tie look. The band members had shaggy long hair and beards. They wore t-shirts, sweaters, fringe jackets, odd patterned ties that were not worn the traditional way, but tied around their necks like a scarf. Pink Floyd's lyrics were typically dark and bleak. They discussed themes of disillusionment, absence, exploitation, oppression, alienation, war, insanity, paranoia, schizophrenia, life, and death. Their lyrics were highly influential. For example, their song, Just Another Brick in the Wall, became the international protest anthem. In response, student riots exploded in South Africa. Due to this, the South African government and BBC banned the song.
Pink Floyd is arguably the most influential band that was formed during the countercultural movement. They changed both the music and drug culture of America. Pink Floyd introduced new exciting ways of performing on stage and helped popularize the use of LSD. The music created by Pink Floyd empowered people. It helped encourage and create the confidence for people to protest major problems in the US. The lyrics to many of their songs helped move thousands of people in the US to protest the Vietnam War.
An example of one of these songs would be Us and Them. One highly notable line in this song is, "Us and them, and after all, we're only ordinary men."
Another Pink Floyd song that influenced school riots against unfair education systems was Another Brick on the Wall. This band helped shape the music and culture of the US, and they will never be forgotten because they were inducted into the US Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1996 and the UK Music Hall of Fame in 2005.